aka Babylon the Great. Before I start off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Raha HaKodash. Also, I want to give double honors to my elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who teach the truth and who rule well. Kazak Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, just getting straight to it. I ain't have too much, plan, but just going through the spirit. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2. It says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." All right, you got chariots being shown by NASA. They're not hiding it no more. All right, they call it what? Atlas, 3-eye Atlas or something like that. But that could very well be a chariot, all right, heading towards, the so-called planet Earth. All right, and soon they talking about it could be here by what, September? All right, we're gonna see what happens, until then. All right, but the Lord, when He come back, He's coming back as a thief in the night, because you don't know when the thief come. All right, the thief could be at your house, all right, waiting, all right, spying out. All right, that's what the Lord's been doing. He's been making an inquisition on the earth. All right, there's been chariot sightings everywhere. All right, you got chariots that's been demobilizing missiles. All right, showing you that the Lord is the master chess player. All right, you heathens. All right, the Lord gave you power just for a little bit. All right, read on. Verse 3, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety." See, right now it's a green tree. All right, people think everything good. All right, soon everything is about to be chaos. All right, the scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble. All right, Trump has been what? Cramping his hand using executive orders to place you niggas in a smaller confinement place to the point where what? You're going to have to choose, like the scriptures say, over what? Mammon and the Lord. And mammon is money. All right, which you niggas is tied to because why? You niggas is niggas. All right, the scriptures talk about how sin sticking forth to buying and selling. All right, that's all you want to do. All right, to continue on in the society. But Hebrews 13 and 14, it talks about how for here we have no continuous city, but we seek one to come. All right, y'all can die here with Esau. All right, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them." All right, and that's what's gonna happen. Y'all gonna get caught up unawares, man. Like the scriptures we just read, a thief comes at night. All right, you don't know when the thief comes. All right, you're gonna be caught up unawares. Is why you haven't been watching, haven't been listening to the prophets. All right, engaging in what's going on, so you can get yourself sealed and get delivered out of here. But at the end of the day, you got 2/3 of our people that's gonna die here, man. It says, "Then sudden destruction come upon them, as a travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." You're not gonna be able to go nowhere. Matter of fact, hold on, real quick, grab the scripture. Okay, bear with me. Amos chapter 5. So I'm gonna go to Amos chapter 5 and verse 19. This is the times we're coming into, man. Jacob's trouble. All right, it says, "As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear meadow." All right, a lion is a ferocious beast. For you to be able to escape from and the scriptures talk about how the beast should change their courses, paraphrasing. All right, you got zoos out here to where it's about to be, man. Hey, man, them zookeepers ain't gonna be able to contain them beasts in these times where Trump signing off these executive orders to where all chaos gonna happen. These exotic animals, so-called, is gonna break out these zoos and get down. But right here, just as a parable or analogy, all right, you got Jacob's trouble about to go on, man. All right, you think, especially if you a nigga, you're not covered by the Lord. All right, what's going to end up happening? All right, you're going to be sitting up here fleeing from this situation, all right, trying to get help, and then you thought you done got out of the situation. What happened? It say, "As if a man did flee from a lion," all All right, and the bear matter, which is another ferocious beast, man. You're not David. You can't handle a damn beast as if it was a kid. You in this weak ass flesh, torn down by chemtrails and bioengineered food, and what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up running into problems. That's how the Lord got it set up, man. It's Jeremiah 15:3. I'll get that after this. All right, 'cause you got set places of judgment specifically for you niggas, man. But it says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall. So you sitting up here thinking you about to get away, and then all this shit happening, and then now you running into this house, or you might have some safety, or you thinking you got some safety, but now you done leaned your hand on the wall, and a serpent met you. But really, as another analogy, a nigga met you that was hiding in the closet, that was hungry, and you sitting up here running with your family. You got goods and substances in your backpack and all that, and the Lord got you, man. You know, that's what's about to happen, man. Troublesome, perilsome times. All right. So don't think, you know, especially if you a man of the Lord, don't think you good, man. All right, because this is about to be some fucked up time. Matter of fact, Jeremiah. All right. Because a lot of you that's out here that's wicked, all right, not trying to be righteous, all right, not up here spewing evil, mocking the prophets, all right, doing wickedly. All right, the Lord got judgment set for you, man. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, at last, for that day is great. And what day? All right, the time of Jacob's trouble, the times we're coming into. That's the whole point of Trump doing these executive orders. All right, it says, for at last that day is great. All right, it's about to be a troublesome times on the earth, especially for you jakes, man. Because why? This devil got a perpetual hatred. They didn't saved up, especially all the way to this time, because for a long time he wasn't able to what? Do nothing too, especially from 1950 to now. All right, when you jakes felt like you had rights. All right, Esau had been holding back the sword. All right, but before the end, before, you know, mass media and people been saying, oh yeah, that's wrong to treat a person like that. No, for one, we was brought over here to serve our servitude and captivity, man. At the end of the day, whatever happened, you know, happened. But at the same time, you know, the scriptures talk about how the heathens overdo, you know, our afflictions. Roughly paraphrasing, man. All right. But this is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. It says, at last, for that day is great, so that there is none like it. Even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. All the times, you know, the times of slavery from 1619. All right. All the way until now. All right. How Jake been done. You've been seeing Jake. They got, it's a movie or something like that called Strange Fruit. All right. Where Jake been hang on trees. The kids been fed to alligators. All right. Picnic. All right. Things like that. The picnic go to is pick a nigga when they was just hanging niggas on trees, man. All right. Burning them up. All that, getting castrated. All right. It's about to be a time more worse than this. Why? Because why? Esau has the power to do so. That's why the scriptures say what? Keep me far from the man that have power to kill. All right. Because in these times, Trump is going to be, he got power to do so, man. All right. The scriptures talk about how, what it say? Whose enemies slay them and hold themselves not guilty, roughly paraphrasing. All right, these people are our enemies. All right, they're gonna be sending the UN troopers as a mixitude of other nations. All right, that know that they want to, you know, do something to us. You know, especially from the times of our rule. They got the ancient history just like the elites do. You know, Esau know what's going on. These other heathens know what's going on. All right. But reading it again, Jeremiah 30 and 7, at last, for that day is great, so that is none like it, even the time of Jacob's trouble. Who's Jacob? You're Jacob. All right? You Israelites, not talking about two nations, even though we scattered and sprinkled through, you know, the other the nations, and we might look like them, but at the end of the day, if you're part of the elect, you're going to come out of that. All right? You're gonna understand that you're an Israelite and do what you need to do to get yourself sealed and to get out of here. All right, because we coming to the time of what? Man, Jacob's trouble, where Esau's about to come in like a flood. I'm going to get that next. All right? And he going to whoop y'all ass, man. Because why? He's the sword of the Lord, man. He's the whipping stick, man. All right? It says, wherefore do I see every man with his Salakia. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 6. Salakia. Jeremiah 30 and 6, it says, ask you now and see whether a man doeth travail as a child. All right, you about to see grown ass men, all right, humbling themselves down, asking what they should do, and you would be sitting up here looking at them like, I thought you knew what was going on, but at the whole time, they're not. They don't have the wisdom. All right, they're not. The scriptures talk about in Isaiah 33:6 how wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our time. These people about to be unstable. The scriptures talk about how a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. These people not about to know what the fuck to do in these times. All right, they about to be going here, there, but at the end of the day, like to speak about wisdom, Amos 8 and 11, how they about to be seeking the word of the Lord and shall not find it, man. Because right now is the time to find it. All right, and then what's happening? You got people walking past day by day. You got brothers making lessons day in and day night, day in and day out, all right, all night. Like speak about in Psalms 19, the 19th chapter. All right, how matter of fact, because I don't want to just keep going, but I'm gonna finish this and grab some scriptures, some more scriptures. And I want to be rambling. But Jeremiah 30:6, it says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with a child, wherefore I deceive every man with his hands on his loins." Are you about to be seeing men tuck, man? The biggest, strongest, worldliest men, they about to be looking like bitches out here, man. All right. It says, it's Salakia, it says, "As a woman in travail, and all faces turned into paleness." People is about to be scared as fuck out their mind, not knowing what to do, because they about to be seeing people getting unalive in a mass rate, especially by Esau. All right, because at the end of the day, he got to have order out of this chaos. What's going on with these executive orders, he's promoting nothing but chaos, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to be running rapid through the city until he feel like he should have everything set in order, man. But at the end of the day, things going to happen how it happen. We just want to see how it play out, man. All right, because he's going to be targeting what? Mainly us, because we speaking against his new world order, his agenda. All right. Verse Jeremiah 30:7, it says, "At last, for that day is great, so that is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, and he should be saved out of it." And who is that he? The elect. All right, the righteous remnant that's turned to the Lord, to serving him right now, all right, to get delivered, all right, from all these harmful times, man. Because like I said, matter of fact, I'm gonna grab it. These are times we're coming into, man. Jacob's trouble, man. All right, Daniel 12. Michael, Allah, the archangel, is gonna have to stand up for it just to deliver us, man. Miracles is gonna have to happen. Standards is gonna have to be lifted up, man. All right. Bear with me, Salakia. Yes, Sirach 9 and 13. All right, because this man is about to be running rapid. All right, he already has power, over the earth. The Lord gave it to him. All right, and he about to do what he wants, man. But the Lord ain't gonna let him touch his anointing. All right, the scriptures talk about that. I'm gonna grab that next, Lord willing. All right, this is Sirach 9. 13, it says, "Keep thee far from the man that have power to kill." The scriptures talk about in Job 9 and 24 that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And who's the wicked? These Edomites. These Edomites got control. They the one fucking up the earth, man. It says, "So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death." Right? And we don't fear the fear of death, man. We already know what's coming down the pipe. All right, the scriptures talk about how the servant is not greater than his master. All right, if our Lord was crucified, just best believe it's gonna be martyrs. All right, and you got to be aware of that. You got to be knowing that you can be put to death in this, man. Every time you go out, every time you make a video, your IP address is popping up. All right, these Edomites know exactly who you are and what you're doing and what's your motive. All right, because at the end of the day, what we doing? Prophesying the downfall of this damn kingdom. All right. But Sirach 9 and 13, it says, keep thee far from the men that have power to kill. And that's Esau. So that shall thou doubt the fear of death. All right, because at the end of the day, the Lord is going to deliver us out of our troubles. All right, and if not, we just got to deal with it. You know, fuck it. At the end of the day, the scriptures talk about how precious is the death of his saints. All right, so it says, and if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently, and he got power to do so. All right, and that's what you be seeing on social media. You just had a man, I forgot his name, but he unallowed a police officer because the police officer shot his son in the back. Man, Jake ain't having that no more. But at the end of the day, you see what can happen. These cops got license and rights to fulfill they devices at night, man. I mean, at night, any time of the day, but they meditate on how they want to kill a nigga. All right, it's just in them. It's that perpetual hatred that Esau has, man. The scriptures talk about how he was estranged from the womb. All right, the whole time when it was Esau and Jacob and their mother's Rebecca's stomach, all right, they was tussling and Jacob was grabbing him up and all that shit. He remembered that from the womb, man. All right, this is what's going on now. This is what's playing out. He's about to play out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get Revelations 12 and 12 after this, man. Because you Jake soon gonna feel that sting that he been talking about. He already took away your Section 8. You only can have it for 2 years, and a lot of you women been relying on that. All right, food stamps getting cut. You know, all these government subsidies, but why? Because he's really trying to tell you, all right, I'm running shit, and if you want to keep going along to get along and have these weak ass dainties, all right, you got to submit it to me. All right, but like I quoted earlier, the scriptures talk about how you can't serve Mammon and the Lord. You're gonna have to choose to take that hit or ultimately probably die, be unalive. All right, but it says, reading on, it says, at least he take and this is the whole thing. When you come up against Esau, I mean, you can't be acting like a nigga, a wild ass person. All right, just saying fuck you and all this and what like these niggas do getting unalived. All right, you got to use wisdom. All right, King David in the time of his when he could have been unalive, he had to play crazy. All right, so you don't know what you're gonna have to do in these troublesome times. All right, but that's the whole thing. Wisdom is gonna have to meet you in every thought. If you ain't got that, all right, meaning what? You're gonna be through out here. All right, because a lot of these people don't have no understanding what's going on. They dead from the neck down, man. I mean the neck up. All right. The scriptures talk about how he that wandereth out of the way of understanding should remain into the congregation of the dead. This is what we're looking at, man. The fucking walking dead, man. All right. But Sirach 9:13 again, reading on, it says, remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the cities. All right, Esau laid nothing but traps. All right, the scriptures talk about how what a gift destroyeth the heart. All right, and that's what Esau is doing, man. He's setting out gifts, because that's the whole thing with this hip is going to be pushed into what? You know, a convenience. All right, you got people getting their car stole. You got people getting their card stole, the information. People wiping out their banks. All right, you got, you know, within that chip, that C-hip, you got medical data on there for each doctor to easily scan who you is and go into who you are. All right, it's gonna be pushed as convenience, but at the end of the day, all right, it's gonna be a snare unto you, man. And everybody that take it, Salakia, is gonna be unalive over here by the Lord and the angels, man. As it speaks about, matter of fact, I'll just grab it. Revelations 14:9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark, or in his forehead, or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh. And what's the wine of the wrath? All right, the ultimate judgment. All right, for this place to get burnt the fuck up and all the works that's in it, and you part of that work. All right, none of this is gonna be left to be besides it being a memorial for not how to be and rule a society. But other than that, nothing's gonna be left standing here, man. This place is about to get obliterated. All right, you jakes, y'all sitting up here like things is just cool. All right, but you know the ones that's aware of what's happening. All right, We out here. We prophesying. The scriptures talk about a wise man seeth the evil and hide himself. All right? We see the evil to come. All right? But what's happening? You niggas is watching everything and just going along with the flow. All right? But it says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture. That's you serving mammon. That's you serving this damn devil, because in the time of your deliverance, the Lord is going to say what? Call on the guys you have chose. All right, you put Esau over the Lord. All right, you chose him as your God. So at the end of the day, with his miracles, his false wisdom, his left-hand wisdom that's doing all this bullshit on the earth, y'all caught up into that to where the point, what's going to happen? All right, y'all going to be deceived. All right, and then what's going to happen? You're going to end up taking the seed hip and you're going to fucking die here, man. That's what's about to happen here in America. Revelations 14:10 again, it says, the same shall drink of the wine of wrath, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. All right, because Babylon have been what? A golden cup in the Lord's hand. All right, and what's about to happen? The Lord is about to make you niggas drink the dregs of the cup, man. Which the dregs is the worst part of his indignation, man. Which at the end of the day, he's reserving you for judgment. 2 Peter 2:9, you niggas gonna die, man. You niggas gonna die. And rightfully so, man. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and in brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the Lamb is Yahweh Shai, the angels. All right, like I said, with Daniel 12, this is about to be a time never so seen before on the earth, that the Lord got to send Michael, Allah, the archangel, to protect us, man. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna have a shield over you. All right, if you a nigga, all right, 2/3 woman, 2/3 men, all right, you're gonna be put down by the Lord. All right, walking around like shit cool, thinking you got a job. You got, hey man, we just read in what was that? Sirach, when they talk about peace and safety, everybody think shit cool right now. But when this green tree become a dry, when everything becomes dry, then what's gonna happen? All right, all hell is gonna break loose. Ain't nobody gonna know what to do. All right, it's a lot here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 15. I started 2. It says, and it should come to pass, and if they say unto thee, whether should we go forth? Because right now, nobody asking questions. But soon people about to be coming up and inquiring. All right, but it's gonna be too late. But at the end of the day, what we can tell them right now. All right. It says, and it shall come to pass if they say unto thee, whither shall we go? Because the Lord got things prophesied to happen. All right, certain judgment. All right. It says, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death unto death, man. People are gonna be getting unalived from either these vaccines they've been taking, or the sword of the Lord, which is Esau. All right, which y'all don't even know who Esau is. See, this is what I'm saying. People looking proud and stiff-necked, but soon judgment about to come, and your ass gonna be just as green as this grass, man. It says, thus says the Lord, such are for death unto death, and such as are for the sword unto the sword. All right, you got militia groups rounded up. You got these Proud Boys rounded up. You got sleeper cells rounded up. All right, you got the UN rounded up. All right, it says, and that's what's gonna be the sword, man. Because at the end of the day, like I said, Esau is the whipping stick. What order he put out, because a lot of these nations is signed up with this damn devil. The scriptures talk about in 2 15, I believe, 45, that how these people are partakers. All right, but y'all gonna get that judgment too. All right, all you nations, all you heathens is gonna be under subjection under our fucking feet through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. It says, and such as for the sword to the sword, and such as for the famine to famine. All right, you already see, all right, with these executive orders, Trump done what? Stop food stamps. That's gonna be part of the famine. All right, if you don't get down with this program, you ain't gonna get shit. All right, you got food pantries closing down because Esau done cut ties with with executive orders with farmers that's kind of producing food, but they using it for a program because Esau don't want them to make more money. All right, they just all right, here, get this food for this pantry, here and there, whatever you can sustain, and we'll pay a small percentage just so you could just have some money, because why Esau don't want you to mass produce shit. All right, he wants you. He wants everything in his own power. All right, and that's gonna be, like I said, that's gonna be part of the famine. All right, and the famine is just meaning a shortage or a lack of. All right, so when you go into these cities, you ain't gonna be able to go and buy your dainties, your goods, and stuff like that, man. All right, it's gonna be a shortage. You're gonna have to go to another city. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be blockades, and you ain't gonna be. The scriptures talk about how you should desire to go into another city and not be able. All right, these things are coming. You're gonna have to have a wearable or a C-hip, something that's coming, just so you can just keep going to this here to go visit this family or that family. Come on, man, you about to be X'd out. You're gonna be X'd out of society, man. All right, it says, and such as for the sword to the sword, and as such for famine to famine, and such as for captivity to captivity. And you already see a lot of these FEMA camps getting set up. You got empty-ass Walmarts, empty-ass Dollar Generals set up, stationed all throughout the hood. And what you think they're going to do with them? All right? They're going to set up FEMA camps. All right? And they're going to hold you in. They already got detention centers built up right now, like Alligator Alcatraz. All right? And what's that? They starting off with you with Northern Kingdom. All right, and now they already got Trump passed an executive order to where he can lock your ass up just for you thinking that you about to do a damn crime. All right, because they got AI so tied up into your everyday living, they can hear and know what the fuck you got about to do. They know where you're gonna be, even if you do a crime. They know where you're gonna be at after you do a crime. These are the times we're coming into. All right, it's just gonna be nothing left. Nothing for you to be able to escape out of these situations. How you try to be a nigga and try to do this other than work. All right, Esau's gonna leave no loophole for you to jump and grasp anything. It's a society to keep sustaining yourself on your own will. You're gonna have to literally submit. All right, because that's what everything everything is going to. They're already talking about stablecoin. All right, which America, the U.S. dollar is the petrodollar where everybody's looking at, but it's all about to be wiped away. You already got BRICS nations set up, the BRICS. All right, you got Russia talking about how you want to back, I forgot what their money is called, but you want to back it by gold. All right, the American dollar is about to be wiped away. Trump got tariffs stacking up to where you can't even have shit, man. Prices is going up. All right, and everything's leading to inflation. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that Revelation 6 and 6 after this. It says, verse 3, it says, Jeremiah 15 and 3, it says, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds. All right, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it says, the sword to slay, all right, which is Esau. All right, and soon he gonna fulfill, you know, like it speaks about in Revelations 12 and 12. He know that he got a short time, so he about to do his wrath on you. All right, but the Lord got men covered from this damn, I'm gonna call him a nigga, this damn devil, man. It says, and dogs to tear. All right, you got wild beasts soon about to be released. And they ain't just talking about just a dog, man. We were already talking about when these zookeepers can't keep up with these animals. When the government ain't really even thinking about the goddamn zoo. All right, they thinking about y'all. Right, when they get able to describe the whole thing with the elect can see a goddamn tiger, but guess what? The scriptures say what? The beasts of the field should be at league with you. All right, and what's gonna happen? It's gonna pass right by you. It could be a damn dog, a pit bull, a Rottweiler, a Doberman. All right, the Lord created these dogs to tear, man. Matter of fact, we grabbed what is that? Sirach 38:29. Grab that after this. It says, the fowls of the heavens and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy thee, because we're about to see a lot of unalive in the scriptures talk about how thousands should fall at thy right side. All right, this is what's about to go on, man. You're about to be seeing people being unalive from these vaccines. You're about to be seeing people catching grievous sores from these C-hips, as the scriptures talk about, which is basically a cancer. Now you want to sit up here and take a micro C-hip in your hand, because that's what it's all leading out to. All right, it ain't about to be about no dollar no more. All right, Trump already talked about doing away with the dollar. All right, so he ain't doing nothing but eliminating y'all, because at the end of the day, their whole thing is what they want to have. They want to depopulate the earth to what, 500 billion or something like that, man. So they're gonna do it by however which way they will. All right, he weaponized everything from the air to the our food to our water. What the fuck is bioengineered? All right, you got trains, a couple years ago or a year ago that was tipping over and leaking toxic waste, all right, toxic chemicals into rivers and ponds and shit. They already got fucking buildings that's leaking whatever the fuck they did, contaminants, like I said, fuels or whatever, leaking into the damn Lake Erie. All the lakes. Everything is, the scriptures talk about how the Lord is against you, O destroying mountain, that destroyeth all the earth. The scriptures talk about how the earth has lost its beauty, and in its youth due to a wicked ass ruler, man. Not keeping nothing, not even the land Sabbath, man. Salaki. I'm gonna grab Sirach 38 and 29. Salaki, this phone is slow. Yes, Sirach 39 and 28, Salakia. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. And right now, the Lord got wrath, all right, got judgment in his mind, which is righteous judgment, all right? The scriptures say, whoever perishes be not innocent, all right? When the Lord do something, it's because you did something. The scriptures talk about how the wages of sin is death. All right, and if you sat up here and did something that offended the Lord, all right, it's up to him if he want to have mercy or he want to judge and take your ass out. All right, but he got spirits on the earth, especially in these times right now, in which he's working on the minds of these damn devils. The scriptures talk about how in Proverbs, was that 21 and 1, how the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth so whichever way ever he will. All right, it's all, everything's down to the Lord, man. But this Sirach 39 and 28 says, there be spirits created for vengeance, which in their fury lay a sore stroke. All right, whether it be you get cancer from the sea hit, whether you get, your house burnt down and you in it, or whether you get chased down by some militias, or whether goddamn whatever happened, man. All right, these are times of vengeance. All right, these are the times we're talking about, man. We ain't in peaceful times. We ain't in the time of when King David and King Solomon was ruling, man. We in the time of our trouble. All right, it says, which in their fury lay on a sore stroke, and in the time of destruction they pour out their forces and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right, that's what happened when you see people getting unalived by various ways, whether it be an illness, whether it be a gunshot, whether a motherfucking rock dropped on you out of nowhere from the mountain, whether a person threw a penny off the top of the Empire State Building and it hit you. All right, these are the Lord's got time appointed for wrath against you niggas or anybody. All right. Matter of fact, what is that? Isaiah 60. Let me see. Hold on. It says, in the time of their destruction, they pour out their forces and appease the wrath of him that made them. Verse 29, it says, fire and hail, famine. All right, it's going to be a lot of people out here that's dying of famine, man. All right, which is going to be a shortage of, but the whole thing is, people ain't going to have enough. All right, scriptures talk about how, what is that, Leviticus 26 and 26, that how, matter of fact, I'm going to just grab it real quick and come back. Leviticus chapter 26 and 26, it says, and when I have broken the staff of your bread, which is your support. All right, a lot of people, you've been relying on this EBT. A lot of people ain't got, food stacked up and they got them pantries and goddamn cellars or whatever, man. Lord about to literally, what is that, Isaiah 3:1, break the staff of bread and water on you people, man. It says, Leviticus 26 and 26, it says, and when I have broken the staff on your bread, 10 women shall bake bread in one oven. So you're going to have families, man. It said 10 is completion. You're going to have families, all right, in one house. All right, getting together, grabbing up food just to survive for the next day. All right? And if you're a man of the Lord going to sustain you. We speak about that in Psalms 37 and 25 with King David when he said, I have been young and now old, but I have not seen the righteous forsaken or begging for bread, man. All right? You got to think about how the Lord never left none of his I'm just gonna say his elect confounded, man. All right, throughout various times. All right, so you just got to believe and have faith that the Lord is gonna deal with you and preserve you in these days, man, because it's about to get rough. Leviticus 26 and 26 is, I've broken the staff of your bread. 2 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and you shall eat it and not be satisfied. What's being brought together by weight? All right, small ass measurements, shit being rationed. All right, you ain't never had to break off a sandwich with 8 people, man. All right, but these are times we're coming into. All right, that's why the Lord got people, fasting, things like that, because for one, we got to discipline our flesh. All right, in these times, man, because we might go a couple days without some food, but at the end of the day, the Lord, we know the Lord is gonna sustain us. Even the Lord had food rain down from heaven, man. All right, the Lord can have a raven bring you some food, man. All right, the scriptures talk about how it could be a man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that too after this. But roughly paraphrasing, he could have shit stored up, and he get unalive, and you come across it, and you find it, and now you and your family or brothers is good. All right, this is what we gotta have faith in. The Lord is gonna sustain us. All right. Leviticus 26 and 26, reading on, it says, "And they shall deliver your bread by weight, and you shall eat it and not be satisfied." Meaning you're gonna still be hungry. All right, you ain't gonna have nothing. All right, sitting up here sipping on cups of water, up here breaking off pieces of bread. Like I said, how much if the Lord ain't dealing with you? All right, the scriptures talk about how what did it say? Let me see if I can find it. So I can bear with me. If I can find it. Yeah, Lamentations 4 and 9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger." All right, so it's better to have a quick death, get your head chopped off. All right, because that's what the times we're coming into. Our brothers about to be martyrs. You would rather be a martyr, or do you want to die of hunger? All right, because famine and all that is real. All right, it says, "For these pine away, stricken through, for want of the fruits of the field." All right, so the whole thing is, the Lord is taking away a lot of these dainties, a lot of these things that you didn't easily. Matter of fact, so like I'm gonna go to Revelation 6:6, man. But soon, y'all about to feel it, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to Sirach, and then I'm gonna go to Revelation 6:6. So I want to jump all over the place. Sirach 39 and 29. Sirach 39 and 29. It says, "Fire and hell and famine and death," because we jumped into it because of the famine, and we just went through all that. But it says, "And death, all these were created for vengeance." All right. So when you see somebody skinny as fuck, frail as fuck, ain't got no food, all right, and they pass out, and now they soon about to go into the spirit world, that's all the Lord, man. All right. You done sat up here and walk past this, thinking about trying to chase unclean food and all that shit, and you can't catch it, and it's clean. However the Lord do it. All right. Verse 30, it says, "Teeth of wild beasts," and we was talking about in Jeremiah 15:3, how the Lord said He created dogs to tear, but it's gonna be any beast. All right, it could be a goddamn coyote, it could be a tiger, it could be a lion, a bear. All right, it could be a snake. All right, these are times we're coming into. All right, we went into all that, but it says, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. So if you wicked, the Lord, like we just read in Jeremiah 15:3, He got ways set for you to go. All right, and a lot of people is gonna end up in the hand of damn Esau, man. All right, and he already got terror meditated for what He gonna do to y'all, man. So then, the whole thing is up to you. What y'all gonna do? You know? Because at the end of the day, the Lord already got everything set forth. It says, what was that? Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and of scorpions and serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to the destruction, man. And the ultimate end is 2 Peter 2:9, because the Lord is reserving people for certain deaths. All right? You got people right now that's dying of cancer. You got people dying right now from getting unalive by a goddamn nigga that's trying to rob them for their car. This is all said judgment. All right? This is judgment that's happening on earth, man. People dying in fucking house fires. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get to Isaiah 6. Hold on. Matter of fact, yeah. Because the Lord it gives out the issues of death, man. This is, hold on. Isaiah chapter 60. Hold on. No, Salafi. Psalm 60. Salafi. Hold on. Bear with me, Salafi. Salaki, Psalm 68 and 20. That's what it is. Psalms chapter 68 and verse 20. It says, he that is our power is the power of salvation. All right. The Lord is the only one that's going to deliver you, especially in these times, out of the destruction to come. Whether it be out of the hand of the wicked or out of the fire, man. All right. It says, he that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto Yahweh, the Lord, belong the issues from death. All right, so however anybody die on the earth, it's all up to the Lord, man. The scriptures talk about shall not a bird fall off to the ground without the Lord sanctioning it. All right, everything is all up to the Lord, man. All right, I'm gonna go to Revelation 6 and verse 6. Because we're coming into the time of famine. All right, you're gonna have to either choose to have a wearable or a micro C-hip just to go into a store and buy some food. Inflation, tariffs is jumping up right now. Prices is going up. People is losing stability. All right, jobs ain't hiring nobody. Women, for the most part, a lot of women been losing a lot of their damn jobs, man. All right, I believe they said 300,000 black women has lost their jobs in the past couple months. All right. And then you got women that don't even want their kids to work just so they can keep their Section 8, but Trump already cut the shit to 2 years. So now what you gonna do? You through. Y'all hoes through, man. It's like y'all through, man. Revelation 6 and 6, it says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts, a measure of wheat for a penny. And I believe a penny is a denarius, which back then was a day's wages of pay. All right, so within a measure of wheat, just say a loaf of bread, because we was talking about in Leviticus 26 and 26 how a woman shall bake, 10 women shall bake bread in the oven, and you should not be satisfied. All right, but these are, like I said, these times are coming to. You got to be seeing a lot of people coming together. That's actually, you know, I'm gonna say family. You gonna have, but anyways, the scripture say the love of many shall wax cold. So we're gonna see how people unite in these troublesome times, man. All right, the scriptures talk about how neighbors should come against and fight against each other, thinking they once knew each other, but soon we're about to see people true, real colors, man. Because the scriptures talk about, I'm not the scriptures, Sloppy. It's a saying that say that you not chew when you hungry. They call it hangry. All right, so you're gonna have a lot of people unaliving people just to feed their family, man. All right, and you, look, man, what you call that? When you eat humans, cannibalism. All right, that's about to be coming here, man. All right, it's an account in not Sirach, but 2 Kings 6 and 26, how you had a woman finesse another woman and eat their kid, man, because there was no bread. It was scripture talk about it was a great famine, man, to the point where they had to run up to the king and say, "Hey, man, can you help us?" Lord, the king said, "If the Lord ain't help you, how the fuck can I help you?" All right. The only thing you got to rely on is the Lord in these times. The Revelation 6:6, it says a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. All right, and the oil and the wine. Who's the vessels that's holding the oil and the wine? The scriptures talk about hurt not my anointed. All right, but at the end of the day, we got brothers that's gonna be martyrs, man, and that's the shit we got to deal with. That's man in this truth, man. All right, because at the end of the day, whether you're dead, whether you're alive, scriptures talk about how the dead is gonna be beamed up first. So fuck getting beheaded, man. Fuck death, man. All right, it ain't nothing but a quick transition from this earthly tabernacle to the spiritual realm, man. All right, and at the end of the day, what we waiting and relying on to get new bodies. All right, to come back and put these heathens in subjection. All right, so we can rule in righteousness forever, man. Because at the end of the day, these bodies ain't nothing but chains of darkness, nothing but the flesh. All right, the scriptures talk about how the creature was subject to vanity, and you know end up going on. But I don't want to ramble and keep going. But it says, it says, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. All right, oil and wine could be symbolic for having this truth, all right, this wisdom, this knowledge, understanding. All right, the Lord is not gonna have these damn devils get all of us, man. All right, be martyrs. Specifically, it might just be because of judgment, but who cares? As long as we're part of the elect, all right, go for it. All right, shit, that ain't nothing to be scared about. All right, I'm gonna go to Revelations 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, all right, the rulerships, all right, especially Esau, and a lot of people, these niggas ruling with Esau. Y'all can rejoice right now. All right, this is y'all time, because the time of y'all rejoicing is about to come to an end. All right, because the men that serving the Lord right now, they're not living in the time of mirth, man. They ain't in that partying ass spirit, man. But what happened, like the scriptures say in Matthew? All right, just like the times of Noah, people gonna be doing what? Partying, getting married, giving themselves over to wine and liquor and shit. All right, having a good ass time. But what's gonna happen? The Lord is gonna come and take you niggas away, just like He did with the flood, man. But this time it's gonna be fire. All right. It says, Revelations 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, man. It says, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath. All right, it's only the Lord giving him that power to actually use his sword, all right, to put on you and put you down, man. And at the end of the day, it's judgment. It's judgment. It says, for the devil has come down to you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Esau knows that his kingdom is about to be over with. All right, the scripture's talking about in Job that he has a time that he cannot pass, man. All right, in 2 Ezra 4:37, the scriptures, I grab that. This is 2 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 37. Esau has a bound that he cannot pass, and he knows that he has but a short time. That's why he's doing all these executive orders. All right, that's why he got these FEMA captains set up. That's why he got alligator Alcatraz, because he knows his end is near. So he wanted to get off his last hoorah, because he got that perpetual hatred, all right, in him, and he wanted to do something. And this is his time to do so. All right, the Lord is gonna let him get 2/3 of y'all, but He ain't gonna let him get the elect, man. All right, just like we read about in Jeremiah 30:7, he should be saved out of it. Out of what? The hands of this damn devil, man. Scriptures talk about, I believe it was at Psalms 144, I grab it after this. But the 2 Ezra 4 and 37, it says, by measure have He measured the times. Right? These are the end times. Why you see these end times? Because you see brothers out here prophesying and teaching, man. All right, this is how you know that's a whole clear indication that this is the end. All right, every time there was the end of a kingdom, the Lord sent forth His prophets to what? Prophesy the downfall of it, man. This is what Jeremiah 28 and 8, man. All right. But it says, by measures have He measured the times, and by number have He numbered the times, and do have not moved nor stir them. All right, He let everything play out, because why? Prophecy play out in time. All right. It says, and He moved and do not stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. All right, we coming to the said measure, man. It's the complete end times, man. All right, when the Lord come back and judge this place. All right. Well, I was about to go to. As I quoted that Daniel, we started Daniel 12:1. This is Daniel 12:1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up. Why? Because these Edomites got power to kill, man. All right, the whole thing is there's going to be a set time to the Lord, like we just read in 2 Ezra 4:37. Measurements got to be made. All right, time got to be played out. You're going to see a lot of things happening. It's going to be a time sent forth because you already got, this is what we was talking about earlier, you got chariots being shown. All right, they call it the Atlas, 3-eye Atlas or something like that. Talking about it's 7 miles wide. All right, that could be the Father's shit. All right, that could be our deliverance. It could just be another angel, scouting, because they said that it was another interstellar object. Well, interstellar just means in between the stars that came here a couple of years ago, and they called it a Muamua. But when you go into that word, it means scout. So that chariot that came out, looking out, because at the end of the day, the Lord is what? Making inquisitions on the earth. All right. But this is Daniel 12:1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince will stand for thy people, like the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, which we was talking about with Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30:7, that these Edomites going to be getting down to the point where they might even try to, harm us. All right, and as soon as that happens, what? Isaiah 59:19, the Lord is going to lift up a standard, beam us up, or keep us from away from it. That's what I was thinking about. Psalms 144. I'm gonna grab that after this. But it says, and there should be a time of trouble such as never since there was a nation, or even the time, and the time of thy the people shall be delivered, and everyone that should be found written in the book. All right, the book with the Lamb's book of life. All right, because Jeremiah 17:13, if you're not written in that book, the scriptures talk about how your name is going to be written in the earth. Meaning what? You are sealed to die here. All right. This is Psalms chapter 144. I think it's 11. Yeah, Psalms 144:11. It says, rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange truth. Right now, Esau is got full control. If he wanted to kick in your door and grab you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, because they got shit like that, man. They call it the King Alfred's plan. All right, Rex 88. So just in case you Jakes think y'all are built up and try to take over something, because right now they know Jake is multiplying like crazy, especially the immigrants from Northern Kingdom came through. All right, building everything up. Esau has his whole nation, all right, has been downsizing for a minute, because why? The women, they want Jake. All right, they not. The scriptures talk about how what is that? He that is evil. Hold on, I'm gonna grab that, because at the end of the day, because I don't want to keep rambling and jump to scriptures. You got Esau not even treating his own people right, man. All right, they down in their own kingdom. All right, because why? The elites want to have control. All right, who want to reap up they blessings to themselves? Goddamn, what you call the fuck you call them? The you wish people. All right, they reaped their blessing, which was the whole earth. All right, they reaped it into themselves. All right, and they ain't even share with their nation, but within our kingdom, everybody gonna be good, man. Now, you ain't gonna see homelessness out here. You see dirty ass Edomites all day long, man. Homeless as fuck, eating out the garbage. What type of kingdom is this, man? Our kingdom, we gonna be good, man. Shit bugged out around us. But this says Psalms 144:11. It says, rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouths speak vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. All right, they righteousness is wickedness. All right, they don't do shit right for people. The scriptures say if he does any good, he do it unwillingly. All right, so the PPP loans, the stimulus checks, I'm gonna say really mainly that, because we saw he really try to do a damn thing to help Jake get up on anything, man, but keep you down. All right, this says Verse 12, it says that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth. And in Malachi, I believe it's the 4, how we gonna grow up like calves in the stall, man. We gonna grow up cool in the kingdom, man. How the Lord ordained it, man. We gonna be good, you know. It says that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be cornerstones. All right, you got women right now raised as hoes, man. You know, I got a daughter right now, man, and her mama ain't. I'm just gonna say she ain't right. So as far as how I don't want my daughter to grow up here in Babylon, man. I want my daughter to grow up in the kingdom. That's why the scriptures talk about if you be saved, your house gonna be saved. All right, you want your kids to be saved, man. Out this damn destruction, man. But you got women that's wicked as fuck, which we was talking about earlier, that they gonna end up getting a lot of y'all kids see it, and what the scriptures talk about how them bringing them forth to the slaughter, man. But the whole thing we was talking about, like the wickedness of a woman ain't gonna care, but that's the whole thing. Through Esau's kingdom, these women are able to have more rights than a man, man. All right, and what's that's doing? Fucking up the rulership of a family. All right, because a woman shouldn't have the even mindset to think that she's in control. All right, because at the end of the day, she's just as a child. All right, you got to lead her mind. But it says, Psalms 144 and 12, it says that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be cornerstones. All right, what's a cornerstone? Our descriptions talk about how you'll know the state of a kingdom by their woman. All right, our women ain't shit right now, man. All right, but in the kingdom, they're gonna be like cornerstones. They're gonna be able to uphold, because at the end of the day, they're helps. All right, they're supposed to help the man stand strong. All right. Well, right now, you got a woman, they try to hurt you, manipulate you, lie to you, have kids on you, all types of shit, man. But this is all coming to an end, all right? But our daughters is going to be like cornerstones, man. Solid, all right? Growing up, the scriptures talk about train up a child when he is young, and he shall not depart in the way she go when they're older, roughly paraphrasing. All right, our kids going to grow up in righteousness, man. All right, we're going to be good. All right, the scriptures talk about how our children should grab hold of serpents and play with bears and lions. All right, this is what we're coming into. And we're gonna be able to actually be cool with niggas, because at the end of the day, these are niggas out here, man. You can refer them to these serpents and these bears, but you can't chill with them, man. Scriptures talk about how you ain't supposed to be around me, man. All right. I quoted Salakia. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Isaiah 3 and 1. I quoted that. I'm just trying to grab scriptures. I know I didn't quote it and kept going, but for prophecy's sake, this is Isaiah 3 and 1. It says, "For behold, the Lord of hosts, Lord of armies, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah, right, the whole 12 tribes. Jerusalem being the northern kingdom, and Judah being the southern kingdom." It says, "Take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water." All right, and that's what we're coming into these times, like I was talking about. They just took away these food pantries. They just cutting your SNAP, your link card. All right, so you ain't got enough fucking land to grow any damn thing. All right, Bill Gates been buying farmland, especially over here in America, all throughout Idaho and all that. All right, to the point where you're not gonna be able to rely on shit. It's over with. All right, you ain't gonna be able to go to a goddamn food pantry and get some food for free. You ain't gonna be able to pull out your link or your EBT card and buy your fucking tomahawk steaks. All right, everything is about to be soon over with, man. It says, Salakia, "For behold, the Lord of hosts." For behold, the Lord of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay and staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. All right, so you ain't even. That's what I'm saying, man. Back when the whole pandemic happened, you had people going to buy water to the point where you had certain stores selling fucking water for $32, $34 because you got other stores individually selling bottles of water for $1. But at the end of the day, if you go to Walmart, that shit supposed to be $4 for a pack of water. All right, but soon They might cut. You gotta think. It was just a whole fire in California, burning everything the fuck up, to where they said they didn't even have no water to put the fire out. That's really because they said that it was a whole. It was supposed to be. I don't want to jump all into that, but they said it was for years they've been planning on having a whole water resource plan just in case some shit like that even happened. But then that happened and they had the water off. All right, so what? They wanted everything to burn. All right, because why? They get water out of chaos, and soon this could happen anywhere over here. All right, these about to be 15-minute cities. You know how they got the pipelines ran and all that, man. All right, they got Heart Project, Blue Beam that's burning shit the fuck up. You see how they did Hawaii, you know? Um, but hey, man, Lord willing, this was an edifying camp. Until next time, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, HaKadosh. Double honor to my apostles, other apostles, and other bishops of Great Millstone. And peace to the hopeful elect. Until next time, Shalom.